Welcome back to the Airsoftology Monday Q&A show. The show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch. Seems to be more of a Tuesday show lately than a Monday show. Anyway, welcome back. We're here for another week of good questions. Your questions from the comment section down below are answered every single week, and that's what I'm here for, to try to help you out and give you some advice, some opinions, and maybe some actual facts thrown in there for good measure. Also, a little update. I'm really kind of hopefully get this done soon. Tomorrow night, big typhoon is coming through, hurricane for those of you that live on the other hemisphere. It's typhoons over here. It doesn't look pretty. It's a big red blob coming toward our little black blob of an island in Taiwan, and well, looks like it's going to go right through Taipei, where I'm at. So we're going to batten down the hatches. Fortunately, I'm kind of high up. I'm not on the low levels. I'm on the higher floor, 8th floor actually. So it should be hopefully okay. Just get to see a lot of rain. Anyway, enough about that. Also, before we get into questions, don't forget, I've got a web store. It helps support the show. I've got a Patreon. I've got a couple things going on. I'll have a link to the web store over here in the corner to buy some cool corgi patches. I only have a couple of the brown ones left. That's it. We'll be doing a brown restock, the brown tactical vest, tactical corgi, and I've got a handful of the Chinese New Year ones still kind of floating around there, and some other ones. So if you guys want a brown one before they are gone, you may want to jump on that. Of course, I think they're like $9 US, free shipping anywhere worldwide. Just like free shipping. You put it in your shopping cart, doesn't matter where you live, it's going to go to you. No extra charge for shipping at all. Anyway, enough of that. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Lourdes Fure writes, "Hey Jonathan, I recently acquired a Elite Force GLOCK 17 and I'm looking for parts to customize it. I found some WE fiber optic sights and other parts that interest me, but I don't know if they are compatible. Do you know anything about WE and TM parts compatibility with Elite Force GLOCKs?" Okay, so the Elite Force GLOCK is made by VFC, and WE and TM are both their own. Like, WE made a copy of the Tokyo Marui GLOCK, so they're pretty darn compatible. However, the VFC GLOCK's a little different, so you're not going to have compatibility, especially internally. Some of the components, like even the magazines, people have done tests on the magazines. I think Nigel, who works for Elite Force, Dials 46 is his YouTube channel, did some tests on that, talking about that. I think, and maybe was it Eric Housnet? I forget. I forget. Anyway, I'll try to find the video for you guys, or you can just search for that. There's very limited compatibility, even with the magazines. Like, you'll have problems doing the magazine over to it. So you're going to need to stay in the ecosystem. That's the bad news with that new GLOCK. But the good news is they're designing it to try to be closer to 1-to-1 of a real one. The Marui one is not. It's too fat on the GLOCK 17. So the WE one, of course, is that way as well in the current form. So what's coming down the pipeline is, I'm sure, as companies get a hold of the official Elite Force GLOCK, you're going to see aftermarket parts, hopefully an Agency Arms slide, hopefully like an Atom slide from PTS, Agency Arms, which is Red Wolf, some Salient stuff. I'm really hopeful, coming from EVIC, they have the license there. So we're going to hopefully see these things start to bubble out and get some aftermarket stuff and some internal tuning parts. It's going to be the official GLOCK worldwide. You're going to see some internal companies get a hold of it. I think right now the only company doing it, I want to say it's a threaded barrel from Helix. Helix actually, I think, I'm pretty sure has a threaded barrel for the official Elite Force GLOCK. It's the first aftermarket part I've seen officially for the EF GLOCK. So anyway, I'll keep you posted here on the channel as more accessories come out. You can try those sights and things like that. It may or may not work. You might have to modify them to fit. They may not even work in there. The compatibility between the two is going to be kind of iffy. So really, if I were you, I'd probably hang out and wait until the official stuff dropped. Ashton John RK writes, "What are your thoughts or opinions if someone made an Airsoft video game?" I've got this a bunch. I really think the Airsoft video game would essentially be just a standard first-person shooter, but instead of like blood and people dying, it'd be like hit, instead. I don't honestly think it would be that great of a game. That said, way back in the day, there was a paintball video game. Was it Splatmaster, I think, sponsored it? I'm really dating myself age-wise. This was like, I think, a Nintendo. It was a paintball video game. I think it used the Nintendo Zapper, if I recall. Come on, you 80s babies. Come on, help me out. You know you had it maybe too. And you would actually shoot people and splat and get them. It was kind of like using the gun. I think it was the gun. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, that was out there. That was fun because it was paintball and there was splatting and it was kind of a promotional thing to get people into paintball. I just don't think the Airsoft one's going to work. I mean, if you're going to build a first-person shooter and instead of people like getting blown away, they just hit, I just don't think it's going to sell. I mean, maybe app-wise, it might if it's like sponsored by somebody. I can see maybe a Jet or somebody or Novrich or whatever, or Silo Entertainment or, you know, Dutch, the Hooligan, somebody doing that app, maybe that could be kind of something cool to build around their brand, but I just don't see it being that great. It's just my thought on it. I mean, I could be totally wrong. There could be like a million of you out there going, Jonathan, you're stupid. This would be a great thing. I would pay good money for it. But I just think because the dynamic of it's kind of just uneventful, the hit thing, I just don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be that good. But if you had like leveled up your characters and you could fight the famous YouTuber, Airsofter, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be in the game. I'd probably be like the guy, I'd be like the ref, you know, is what my character would be. Or I'd be like the guy giving the mission briefing. That would be me. I wouldn't be on the field, but I'd be the guy playing the mission, giving the mission briefing. Or I'd be like your teammate on the side, because I wouldn't be like a boss character. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Probably not a good thing with the app or the game, in my opinion. Rob Hart writes, with a big focus of late on plastic pollution globally, think the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, do you foresee the industry moving completely towards biodegradable BBs? Do you think countries may put laws into place stopping the use of non-bio BBs? Hi from South Africa. I am honestly, to be honest with you, surprised that the bio BB isn't the standard now. That people are even making non-bio BBs due to the push for environmental consciousness. I'm just really honest. Every Milsim event I've been to has required it. The bio BBs, that's been a requirement. Most outdoor fields now require it. I mean, indoors fields, some do, but most don't. They just sweep up the BBs. I would dare to say, and there's a lot of countries from the United States, the European Union, to all over the world, even Taiwan, huge recycling initiative here. I mean, unbelievably huge recycling initiative. I mean, my garbage is like this, and my recycle bin's like this every time I go out to empty my trash, and the trash thing downstairs, it's like 5 times recycling for the small amount of waste that actually goes into the trash bin. It's just very, very small trash waste. But yeah, I think it's probably going to happen soon. Like I said, I'm very surprised the plastic BBs are still, like the non-bio ones are still around. And yeah, I would say maybe in the next 5 years, we're going to see a push potentially. I mean, it really depends on countries' laws and more, I think, from the fields and the players and maybe even the manufacturers, the companies. I think we're going to see a bigger push just for, with the bio BBs being so good now, maybe just all bio everywhere. Tacta Husky Snowball writes, so I run a Lancer tactical CP style airframe and I love it, but it's time to upgrade the pads inside. Any recommendations? So if you guys don't know, a CP style airframe is a helmet. We're talking about helmets here. And there's another question from another one of you guys and gals out there about upgrading a Vulcan helmet with the foam inside. It was a the base jump type, the bump type helmets. So to give you guys feedback, I think that one has the foam, so you have to rip that foam out. That can be hard. But this one has removable pads. Most of the Airsoft helmets, depending on the version you get, will have removable padding in it. You can get the military issue pads. They're okay. But if you want to have something comfortable and you use your helmet every time you play, and you're running a GoPro or a bunch of other junk on there, and it's protection for you, and it's a camera platform because you can mount your GoPro and all that stuff, I would say make the investment into Team Windy pads. Yes, they are expensive. Yes, you will spend more money on the padding than you will on your replica or repro helmet. However, there is a significant difference. I've owned Team Windy helmets. I've owned the padding to put into real military helmets, actual Kevlar helmets, and even my repro ones, my knockoff ones. The pads for me are king. To play an entire weekend in Milsim, you will have, it's the difference between like a massive headache and not, because I'm like got like camera on, I got like some kind of like satellite dish over here and my battery pack in the back. It weighs a ton. And then at night game, I got my nods in the front, my counterweight, pouch, and it's a lot of weight. Padding is so important. So yes, by far, I think everybody in this industry will, and the military and the tactical guys will all say, if they ask you this question, go Team Windy. Yes, it's expensive, but it is absolutely worth it. No, they don't sponsor me. They let me pay to be here. But in my experience, if I'm going to spend my hard-earned money, and I have spent my hard-earned money on the pads, it's going to Team Windy. All right, right, that's it for questions this week, which means it is, like always, the time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from you guys again. I said be persistent. Put your recommendations down there. This is Callsign Joker. He said be persistent. Well, I'll double down. I want to recommend my channel. And you know what? I clicked on it, and it's some good stuff. He's actually kind of a NorCal guy. He plays in the Fort Ord area. He plays Fort Ord and also in GamePod. Got some gameplay up here. We're going to be focusing on Fort Ord. In fact, I love Fort Ord. I haven't played in Fort Ord in probably 5 years now, maybe. Such a cool place to play. It's right there in Monterey area. It's on the coast, and like you're right there. The mist, the morning, the sea mist is in there, so all the buildings are like super slick from the sea mist. And there's this old wooden 2-story like barracks all over, and like it goes up kind of a slight hill. So there's this cool fighting element between the buildings. And when I played, they wouldn't let you go to the second floor. It was all first floor stuff. It was still super cool. All these windows and stuff. Had so much fun. Great players. No issues with hit calling there. And again, I want to just highlight this channel, Callsign Joker. Again, more of you YouTubers out there, and again, more great stuff. If you guys like what you see, of course, I'll have a video link in the corner and over here, and then also down in the description box below to take you over to Callsign Joker's channel and this video that's playing over my shoulder, over top of my face. And if you guys like it, mash the sub button over there. Let them know I sent you. And again, if you have recommendations, your own channel or a channel you love or a video you found that's super cool, Airsoft or anything kind of somewhat related to what we do here, Airsoft and tactical stuff, put it down there in the description box below. I do pull those every single week from you guys and gals and try to get those cool recommendations out. So yeah, put them down there, and next week, maybe it's your channel or your favorite channel that'll get highlighted. Well, that's it. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being so cool and hanging out. And I'm going to go get some water and some food and everything to get ready for this hurricane. I keep calling it hurricane because I grew up in the U.S. Typhoon to hit here, and hopefully it's all talk and no action. But if it isn't, I want to be ready for it, prepared. I've already been getting the water. Anyway, enough of that. Hopefully I'll be back for next week's Mondays. And until then, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.